this is Yusuf Öztoprak. I am presenting my final project, JobHub. It's a full-stack job board platform with a React frontend and Express REST API. In this video, I will walk you through the deployed application and explain the key parts of the code. Let's start. This is the live frontend deployed on Vercel. The homepage shows all active jobs, job listings, no login required. The data comes from my Express API on Render, which connects to a PostgreSQL database on Neon. Let's say we want to search certain jobs. We can put the keyword here. Search is debounced, the URL uh, updates, and a new API call goes out. The backend filters by title or company using PostgreSQL case insensitive like queries. And also we can do the filter. And when we do the filter, you can see URL is changing. Clicking like sorting happens server side to notice the URL. It now contains query parameters for search, sort, and order. This means I can share this URL with someone and they see exactly my filtered view. Clicking a job opens the detail page with its own route. Since I am not logged in, I see a login to apply button instead of apply form. Let's go back to the main page, and now I will log in as a candidate. Authentication use JSON Web Token with separate access and refresh tokens. After login, the tokens are stored in local storage and added to every API request via an Axios interceptor. You can see now we have my application in the header. Now the apply model opened. The core little field has a live character counter, minimum 10, maximum 2000. Submit is disabled below the minimum. That's 70. Here's my applications page. Paginated shows the job, the status, badge, and a withdraw button. Withdraw hard deletes the application, which lets the candidate apply again later. Now I will log out and I will log in as an employer. The header shows an admin link instead of my applications. Routes under slash admin are protected by a role-based route guard component on the front end and by middleware on the back end. The dashboard shows stats scooped to this employee's own data, active and inactive jobs, total applications, and breakdown by status, all counted in a single API call that does a SQL count grouped by status joined to my own jobs. Here I see all my jobs, including soft deleted ones with active and inactive badges. As you can see, mm, we can open a create a new job, and it has its limits. Now deactivate a job. Here I see all applications across my jobs. I can filter by job and change the status. You can see the badge updates instantly. That's optimistic user interface. We update the local state immediately and revert if the API errors. Let me show you the code. The Express app applies global middleware in order, Helmet for security, uh, headers, course, JSON parsing, a rate limiter, then mounts the API under slash API slash volume1 and Swagger user interface uh, under slash API docs. Routes are organized by resource, authentication, users, jobs, applications, and admin namespace. Notice that public job routes don't sit behind blanket authentication. That protection is applied per route, so anyone can browse without logging in, but mutations are protected. Authentication middleware extract the bearer token, uh, verify with JSON Web Token secret, attach the decoded user to request user, any route that needs outchains uh, this middleware. Authorization is two functions. Require role is a middleware factory that returns a check for one or more roles. Require ownership loads the resource by parameters ID and ensures that requester owns it. This is what blocks employee A from editing employee B's jobs. The application model has a unique index on user ID plus job ID. So a candidate can't apply to the same job twice. The database enforces this. The API layer catches the constraints error and returns a 409. Here's the apply controller. It checks the role, finds the job, rejects if it's inactive, or the employee's own posting, creates the application, and handles the unique constraints error with a friendly 409 response. The whole database scheme lives on scheme.sql production grade with trigram indexes for fast ILAC search, partial composite indexes for the active jobs feed, foreign keys with Cascade, and seed data with real bcrypt hashes. On the front end, the filter state lives in the URL via React Router's user search parameters. This is what makes the URLs shareable and refresh safe. The debounce hook and the merge to results pattern for keyboard search are small custom hooks, no external state library. Backend test 54 integrations test across 5 files: out, jobs, users, applications, admin. They use Jest with Supertest and run against real PostgreSQL and Redis containers spawned by GitHub Actions, not mocks. Here's the uh, backend continuous integrations, spins up Postgres 16 and Redis 7 as a service containers, installs dependencies, runs all tests on every push to main. If green, render auto deploys the backend. Separate workflow for front end, lint, build, and vtest component test with the React testing library. Only runs when front end files change thanks to the path filters. All builds passing production deploys are fully automated. Push to main test runs, both render and Verkle redeployed. Only when I updated the README file, I had one problem with the redeployment. Then I fixed it. API documentation is generated from JSDoc annotations on each route, served via Swagger user interface. Every endpoint is documented with parameters, response schemes, and examples. Let's say you can actually test endpoints directly from this page. To summarize the deployment, backend runs on render in Docker container, database on uh, Neon, serverless Postgres, Redis on Upstas, frontend on Vercel, all free tires configured via environment variables, never committed. Let's go to the README file. All source code is in this GitHub repository. The README has the full setup instructions, API endpoint reference, and live links. Thanks for watching.